Hey guys, today we're going to review this bike. It's a Yamaha C3 and it's one of my favorite 50cc scooters. I think one of the coolest things about this bike is this nice little headlamp. It is set really down low, so it really stands out from most scooters. And you know, it actually provides a good light. But the tires are actually really thick. They're actually about the same width as a Honda Ruckus, but of course on this bike it actually doesn't look like it's a very thick tire. But the reason for a tire like this thick is actually you can take it a little bit off-road, but not so much that is that it absorbs a little bit more potholes and things like that. And you know, it just gives it a little bit of a beefier look. On these 50cc scooters, that's really pretty much all you need, and there's really not much maintenance to it. You have this little bolt right here that you can adjust it. So down here, of course, you have your kickstart, you have your shocks, and this is your drive, and this is your drum brake adjustment. So it's drum front and rear. So Yamaha did a great job in thinking about this, you know, is having the stem from the tire go directly off to the side instead of shooting up. This way you can, you know, feel it really easily. So one of the things with the scooter that it actually gives it a little bit of a sportier style is this kind of way of sitting your feet. It does not have a flat foot rest, which is actually kind of a bad thing when you think about scooters, because if this was flat, it would give you a lot more utility. You could put things flat across and you can actually put your feet on it to hold it. You could carry grocery bags here and things like that without it falling. But this kind of limits your space for putting things in here. Kickstarts, and this one works pretty well. But the electric start always starts the bike, so you really don't need to. So you have to turn the bike on, push the brake, and then kick it. And that's easy. You know, it's an emergency sort of thing. Boom. You just pull up on this nice handle here. And this is a really nice feature to have on a scooter. The rear lights are actually pretty nice. They're really big. And you have your blinkers here. It's a really nice, substantial bike, and it's the wheelbase seems to be bigger than most scooters. It really just feels like a really well-made scooter. And I haven't seen any 50cc scooter that matches this quality yet. So, I mean, everything is really well built. Let me show you the trunk. You would think that this would be a massive trunk, but it really isn't. It's not really a very massive trunk. It looks like it's a massive trunk, but when you open it, you put your key here and you lift it up. It's nice that it's got this hinge that goes this way, but look inside. It actually does not have that much space. It's not very deep. So when you put a full-size helmet, look at it, just won't fit. No matter what you do, it just won't fit. That's a pretty bad sort of thing. The battery is also over here. So this is where the gas is. It's nice, it's got a nice cover, but I really dislike that you have to put the key to, you know, close it. And one thing that's kind of odd is that there is an arrow here, and it has to be on the side, and you have to match it with this little arrow here. Most people would think that the arrow should point up. That's kind of a weird design flaw that Yamaha needs to fix. I don't particularly like that. And you know, it locks into place. Now, one of the great features of the scooter is that you barely have to put any gas. Controls for this bike are what you would expect. You know, you have high beams, you have turn signals, you have your horn. The horn is pretty pathetic, so if you listen to this, it looks like a clown horn. This is a safety plate that you can use the key to kind of come down and close this. I'm not really sure if it deters thieves at all, because you know this bike weighs close to nothing. The speedometer is actually pretty nice. It's you know, it's very simple. You have your speedo here and your trip or your odometer. There actually is no trip meter, which is a horrible thing because I actually like knowing how many miles I'm riding per day and things like that. Then you have your dummy lights, high beam, engine, and temperature. And then this is a very nice feature on a 50cc scooter. It's the gas gauge. And I don't know why manufacturers don't put gas gauges in scooters and things like that, but this is a really great feature. Well, all in all, this Yamaha C3 is an excellent bike for the price. It has everything that I want in a 50cc scooter. It does 40 miles to the gallon, or it does 40 miles an hour in the speedo on the bike, which I'm sure is a little bit lower. But it seems like to be one of the best 50cc scooters that you can get. I mean, this thing is fuel injected. Very rare to find a 50cc scooter that's fuel injected. So that's in itself is a great feature. This thing just sips gas. It is 115 miles to the gallon. When I fill this thing up, I put in maybe $1 of gas and it'll just last me forever. I mean, $2 is a complete fill up.